and my friend who is gay, which no problem, I've known he was gay since I met him, and it was never an issue with me, started sliding up telling me I have no right to speak on the LGBT community, and this all like went on when all that other stuff was. And so I showed him, I was like, so you think it's okay that people are saying this stuff to me, telling me to kill myself and that I'm a disappointment? Like, you think that's okay? And he was like, well, you've never experienced oppression like us gays have, so whether your depression is diagnosed or not, it is okay.
Alright, so I'm here with Hanna. I've spoken with Hanna before, and she actually spoke about COVID-19 and how that had changed shopping. It changed a lot of the dynamics of the way that we live. And yeah, so we have her back on now because she's had some issues since she came out as a Trump supporter. So Hanna, if you could just tell us a little bit about your experience and why you're here today.
Well, I want to say I've probably been a Trump supporter right around like the first time he ran against Hillary in 2016. And that's probably when it all started. But like whenever he won, I remember, I came in the class all excited, and because I was still young and a kid, I was 16 at the time. And that turned into all my people I thought were my close friends yelling at me, getting mad at me, refusing to speak to me. The one ended up telling me, what was it? I just remember this one stuck out to me because one thing the left side promotes is like body shaming and stuff like that. But the second I say I voted for Trump, they all start yelling at me saying he would never want a fat ass like me voting for him, and because my ass is flat, he would hate me.
Oh my goodness.
All over because I voted for him. Like,
yeah.
And I thought that was crazy because they're always no body shaming, everybody's beautiful, which I agree with. Everybody is beautiful in their own unique way.
They sure are.
But yeah, I came to making fun of my body. And then this one I remember, because I was so shocked. It was on TikTok, actually. I came across a post. There's this band I really like. I've seen them in concert and stuff before, too. Their name's Falling in Reverse. And the singer is a very problematic dude. A lot of people hate him, a lot of people love him, just kind of like Trump, honestly.
One of them personalities.
Yeah, one of those controversial personalities. And I came across a post that said, I bet, what was it, like all of Falling in Reverse's fans are Trump supporters. I said nothing mean. All I said in the comments were, hey, as a Falling in Reverse fan, I can confirm this. I voted for Trump last election. Oh my gosh, was that the biggest mistake I've ever made. My comments were blowing up. I was having like 99 plus notifications at a time from people telling me I need to go kill myself, calling me fat and ugly, saying I have fried hair, and that it got to my brain and affected how I voted.
Oh, wow.
And then they started telling me they were going and commenting on my personal videos, like, I posted one lip singing to a new song this one band I dropped. And the band itself ended up liking the videos. I got very excited. I commented on the videos.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, the band liked this video. And then they start commenting, well, this band would hate you if they knew you voted for a Cheeto or something. And then they were saying, like, it looks like I have fetal alcohol syndrome, and I'm a disappointment to my family. Then they ended up, I was an assistant manager at KFC at the time. How they figured this out, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe they looked me up on Facebook or something. But they started saying, like, looking me up and saying all this stuff, like somebody who works in fast food shouldn't be a Trump supporter. And I'm like, how do you even know this about me? And that went on for like 3-4 days, maybe a week. After a week, it started slowing down. It went to maybe a couple comments a day versus like 1 million. But oh my gosh, it was terrible. And they were saying it's justified telling me to go kill myself. Because I said that. I was like, you guys preach like mental health being important all the time. And I actually am diagnosed with depression. So you realize telling me to kill myself would actually have a big impact on me. And they're like, well, that's valid because you don't know what us gay people feel like. I'm like, well, how do you know that though?
Yeah.
How do you know I'm not closeted or?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't know me, anything about me, and it's a lot. There's been plenty more. I lost a real close high school friend too, because I shared this video. It was of a gay man at it was a Trump supporter. He was gay at one of the Pride rallies, and he had a Gays for Trump shirt on, and they bullied this guy out of the rally, even though he's one of them. Went through the same oppression, everything they did. And I shared this. I was like, this is wrong. He's one of them. He deserves to celebrate Pride just as much as they do.
Yep.
And my friend who is gay, which no problem. I've known he was gay since I met him. It was never an issue with me. Started sliding up telling me I have no right to speak on the LGBT community. And this all like went on when all that other stuff was. And so I showed him, I was like, so you think it's okay that people were saying this stuff to me, telling me to kill myself and that I'm a disappointment? I was like, you think that's okay? And he was like, well, you've never experienced oppression like us gays have, so whether your depression is diagnosed or not, it is okay. And yeah, won't be friends with me anymore, removed me on everything, was calling me a bigot, uneducated.
Wow.
This was someone I would take home from school every single day, Monday through Friday.
So you guys were very close.
Very close. He was close with my brother. We had so many inside jokes, and he always knew I was Republican and a Trump supporter. I don't know why it randomly just. I went to college and turned even weirder, but.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely no question about it. A lot of the educational institutions are just filled with very left-sided professors.
I've noticed a lot of people, they go to college and then come out very left. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing. There's no doubt there. So a lot of the comments and stuff, did that start more so here with the 2024 election, or has it been going on for years?
Kind of both. I mean,
I'm sure it's gotten more.
It's
pronounced.
definitely been worse.
Yeah.
Around this time, it got real bad. Probably like it was around when Joe Biden was in office and stuff, and everyone knew Trump was going to run again against Joe Biden, and it was probably a year or two before he just became president. Now, so. That was when all that like TikTok stuff
all the
went
comments,
on.
It was then, okay.
Yeah, that's when it all went on. I just commented on a video confirming their point. I didn't even say anything mean.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't attack them for their beliefs or anything.
No, but they sure attacked you for yours.
Yeah, exactly. I was very, very surprised.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It is, and so the Democratic Party claims to be the party of love, the party of acceptance, the party of diversity, and all that. And
unless you're white or Christian.
Unless you're white or Christian, amen. Because then we're privileged, and we're basically racists, and we're all this just nonsense.
That's another thing too, is like Christianity getting made fun of now. It's insane. I have so many people making fun of me for being Christian. And saying all this stuff and like making fun of Christianity in general. But if we were to talk about like Muslim or Islam and that way they are, it'd be a whole different story.
Oh, amen. Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about Islam that way. I have no issues with them. They can believe what they want. I'm just using that as an example. If we were to talk about them the way people refer to us Christians, it would be a different story.
Oh, yes, it would be.
But I guess us Christians are very bad people. Which there are bad judgmental Christians out there. They don't stand for the rest of us, though.
Amen.
But it goes the same way with their side, too. There's a bunch of weird trans creators on TikTok who make these regular trans and other members of the LGBT community look bad. It goes the same way. I mean,
yes.
Each party has bad people. Each religion, each job, everywhere has bad people. That's just how it is.
Yes, it does. And I may be slightly biased in this, but I will say, and it's probably just because I sit more on the right that I've seen more hate from the left than the right. But at the
I
same
have
time,
too.
it's like I've seen more people on the right talk with people on the left in a civilized, humane, and respectful way, but that's not what they get back.
Exactly.
You know?
I actually watched a video on that. It was a guy. He wasn't biased or non-biased. He grabbed a Trump shirt, and I want to say it was Biden at the time still before it switched to Kamala, and he went to a rally of each party wearing the opposite shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And he full on said that when he went to the Trump rally with the Biden shirt, everybody was very respectful and thanking him for opening up his mind and was very happy to see him there. And he said when he wore the Trump shirt to the Biden rally, he's like, I've never experienced as much disrespect in my life.
That's horrible.
And I'm like, you guys are supposed to be the party of love and acceptance.
Yeah.
You can't accept him for his beliefs.
Anybody, so this is my thought on that. Anybody, just like Christians or whatever, you can claim yourself to be anything, but if there's no fruit of that, then it's just a profession. It's just something you say. If you're not truly living out something, then are you really Christian? Are you really,
Yeah, you can't
this,
pick
that,
and choose what people you want to love and accept.
Exactly.
You do all of them or none of them.
Exactly, and especially for something as simple as this is who I'm going to vote for.
Exactly.
Because in America, I've never seen us so polarized. Like, literally, and granted, I was younger, throughout earlier presidential elections, so I know, when I was a kid, it just wasn't something that we thought about the way that it seems to be, elevated today. Now it's
My dad talks about that with me a lot. He always tells me, he's like, it's not like it used to be. He goes, in my opinion, the Democratic Party doesn't even exist anymore. He goes, you're either an extreme far left or you're not. And I'm like, that's very accurate.
Yeah.
He's like, back in my day, he goes, I voted for Democrats.
Yeah.
Democrats voted for Republicans.
So did my dad. Yep.
And he goes, that's just how it was. The main disagreement between the two were money, and that was it.
Yep.
He goes, we disagreed on like financial, economical situations, and that was it.
Yep. Other than that, it was, we were pretty much,
yeah,
there was a lot of common ground, it seemed.
Yeah, he goes, everyone else was on the same page for the most part. It was just like, that money we disagree on. And he goes, the way people are divided now, it was not like that when I was younger and voting. And I was like, it wasn't? And he's like, no. He goes, what did he say? He goes, the closest I've seen this country was after 9/11.
Oh, yeah. Oh, amen.
And he goes, it sucks that you need a tragedy to bring this country close together. Yeah. He goes, but it seems like that's the only thing that's going to work.
You may not be wrong. But that's a scary thought as well. We don't need a big tragedy.
Yeah, we don't need a tragedy, but it does suck that that's what it takes for us to love each other.
And to be united. Yeah.
Is that what it took? A bunch of Americans dying? And it shouldn't have to take that.
No, not at all. So, do you think that the media's had anything to do with the division and things like that?
100%. I think, this is a personal opinion, but I think the media has a lot of people brainwashed. They think if you're black or if you're gay, you can't be a Republican. They brainwash these minorities to thinking, well, because you identify as gay or because you're a person of color, that you have to be on the left side. And that's not how it is. The media makes it, if you're not on the left side, you're against those people.
Yep.
Which, anyone who knows me, I am far from against those people. I love everybody the same. And I think the media has a big play in that because, as I said, they make it seem like you have to be this party since you're black or since you're gay or Hispanic or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that makes it seem like us, Republicans, hate them, and that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Just because we have an opinion on something doesn't mean we hate you.
Amen. Yeah, the media has, I believe, fueled a lot of the division, and I mean, even just look at the way that MSNBC and CNN and these different outlets have called Trump fascist, have called his supporters Nazis. And we wonder why there's been
that one too.
garbage. Well, that was actually Biden that said that. which the White House actually, when they released the transcripts, tried to alter, what he said, to make it a little more okay. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is, because there's no need for that. At least by my opinion, how how can you expect this to be a country of rights, a country of freedom, if all you want to do is call the one person, one of the people running for political office, the highest political office of the land, calling him a Nazi, and calling, and not just that, the media has literally for years now spun his word. They take little snippets of, what he said and say, oh, he's for white supremacists, when he's constantly disavowed them and said, no, I don't want their votes, I don't want their support,
Exactly.
But yet just because he says, something about white supremacy, they take that little snippet out and, make him look like the most horrible person. And it's so far from the truth, if you actually sit and you listen to the full speeches from Trump. I mean, my goodness.
One thing I can't agree is he needs to work on how he talks.
Oh, amen.
But
he's like you
said
earlier.
I think Vance is great for him, because Vance is a wonderful speaker.
Oh, he balances him out so well.
He needed Vance.
So Vance, it seems like he's very restrained. He leaves emotion out of it, and he just throws logic. Like, it seems like he's a very logical-minded person.
He seems very prepared too when he's speaking.
Oh yeah, he knows what he's talking about, and that's what's funny. Some of the interviews he's had, it's like they don't even know how to respond to him, because, like, well, what he just said makes a lot of sense, and you have no response to that.
He's fast. His points are valid.
Yeah.
Like, he's a very good speaker.
What do you think about Vivek? Do you know Vivek? Vivek Ramaswamy?
Wait, say it again.
Vivek Ramaswamy. He was the I believe he's Indian, the Indian guy that was running in the primaries and didn't make it.
I don't think so. No.
Either way, he's a really cool guy. I look forward to. I would expect that if it's not J.D. Vance that runs in 2028, Vivek will, or maybe they both will. They might run
I'm
against each other
hoping
in the
it.
primaries,
That's what me and my boyfriend were talking about. Another person I'd love to see run, just because I think it would drive the Democrats crazy, is Candace Owens. A black female Republican. Oh, they'd go nuts. Oh, that'd be funny.
Yeah. So as far as the whole situation with you losing a close friend of yours, how's that make you feel? I mean,
at first, I would say I was sad about it, but then, I sat there and thought, I'm like, if who I voted for, a political belief, if that's going to determine our friendship, then I don't need you as a friend.
And maybe we never truly were to begin with.
Exactly. And I have some people with the same beliefs who we love talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you find things you agree on. When you have an adult conversation and talk, well, this is why I voted for Kamala, this is why I voted for Trump, I'll listen to them. I'll be like, you know what? That's valid.
It makes sense.
I really like that. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, they'll say the same to me. Because my friend's mom, that she's a Democrat, and she always hated my beliefs, but she never hated me. Always loved me like a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been messaging a lot this upcoming election. For the most part, it's been all good. And I actually broke down what I believe and explained that to her. And she's like, I've actually never thought of it that way. And I thought I would be mad when you explained your beliefs to me. But no, you have a very good mindset, Hannah, and it's going to take you far in life. Keep that. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate you listening to me and respecting me. Because we made a promise that we would still be friends after the election.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Another thing you asked about the media, I have noticed too, is these people bullying these influencers for not speaking up about it. The ones I see, I watch a lot of makeup, beauty related stuff on TikTok, things in that category. And there's these people blowing up in the comments. There's a lot of them. Why aren't you telling people to vote for Kamala? Why aren't you using your platform to end the war in Palestine? And it's getting to the point where these people are crying, freaking out, and they erase their account. And that's their job. That's how they're putting money over their head. Yep. Because they don't want to speak about politics?
Yeah.
They're here to do makeup and tell us makeup products we like.
Yeah.
And you're bullying them off the internet, because if they speak about politics, no matter what, whatever they believe in, they're gonna lose followers.
Oh yeah, amen.
If they're Republican, they're gonna lose Democrat followers. If they're Democrat, they're gonna lose Republican followers.
Well,
So
and even if it's not Republican or Democrat, they're mad about that. People tune in to watch a makeup show, not to hear about politics.
Exactly.
You know?
And like either way, you can't blame them for not wanting to speak about it with how offended people get these days.
Yeah.
I don't blame them at all. And as you said, we're here to watch someone's makeup get done.
Yeah.
We need, like, this was my break from politics. I wanted to see which of these products I'm buying when I go to Sephora next, not who she's
without having
for.
to know anything about Kamala Harris or Trump or any of it, you know, just
exactly. And they were doing that like with Palestine. It was like, you need to use your platform to call for a ceasefire. Them calling a ceasefire
Yeah.
make a ceasefire happen.
Yeah. Saying something on my makeup channel is probably not going to end the war in Palestine.
Exactly. I mean, yes, they do have like millions of followers, some of them, but I promise it's not going to really make a difference.
No.
A lot of people don't believe what their favorite influencer or celebrity believes for many reasons.
Oh yeah.
They're more out of touch with reality than we are. So I'm not going to take opinions from someone who makes over $1 million.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you're not struggling like I am.
Amen.
So.
Amen. Yes. With that said, some of them I'm sure did, and then kind of were blessed. I think there's a big difference between somebody that works hard and because of their hard work is where they're at, as opposed to like somebody that just inherited a bunch of wealth, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah. So as far as getting better, I know earlier we mentioned 9/11 was something that really united us. With that said, I pray and hope that we don't ever have a tragedy like that again in this nation or anywhere, for that matter. But how do you think we move forward and become more united in this nation, aside from a tragedy or something horrendous like that?
Honestly, I don't know, because as I mentioned, it seems like we need a tragedy to bring us close together. But when there was a tragedy like Trump getting shot in Butler, they were still making jokes about that and saying that the guy Corey who died deserved it, when no, he didn't. That was someone's father, someone's son. And so I don't even know if a tragedy would work at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do to bring more together. I would love to try. I don't like it. I don't like seeing this country divided.
No.
Especially over something stupid as who we voted for. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But I don't know. And I wish people would be more open-minded and quit believing everything they see on the media.
Yeah.
Just because Twitter says Trump is racist doesn't mean he's racist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think part of the problem also is, I don't want to say, but I want to say this right, because if I say this wrong, people will twist what I'm saying. So I think X is probably one of the things that assured that we had the rights to talk about what's truly happening and not be censored. Because a lot of these other platforms, you can't talk about certain stuff without basically being censored. And there's evidence to show that that's been going on. So I think that X has really bolstered the freedom of speech. But at the same time, the hard part about freedom of speech is, it's easy if we agree. And it's normally harder to say, oh yeah, they should be able to talk about that when you completely, like, if it's horrible, I believe that, look, freedom of speech involves letting people say whatever it is that they want to say with no repercussions. Well, not with no repercussions, but no legal, unless you're hurting somebody with that speech. And I mean truly, like you're calling, like some of these comments about, since Trump won, you can watch videos where people are like, we need to take him out, we need to go shoot him, we need to, any. There was
I would never even think of that.
I've seen videos with black women saying, what, we're all done. If I see a white boy on the street, I'm shooting him. Things like this. And it's like speech like that. I think that it should at least come along with maybe not an actual charge and a sentence, but I think that it should come along with an investigation and let you know, like, hey, we're watching you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just say stuff like that and there be no repercussions. But at the same time, freedom of speech is important. And I think that because of the way that it is now, with all the social media, with the immediacy of getting people's voices out there that never would have been able to before, opens the doors for basically, nasty people saying things. I mean, and that's just the reality of it. There's people that say horrible things, but there's also people that say wonderful things, and all the way in between on that spectrum. And I believe that they should all have that platform to be able to do so. But at the same time, I don't know that that is what I don't know that that will ever fix our problems. I think that kind of fuels them, just allowing that the sort of internet gangster sort of mentality to run wild. I think things like this is honestly what will help to bring us together, because this don't go for everybody, because there's still, you talk to people in person, and I know you've experienced it with your friends that have basically disavowed you because of your political beliefs.
Yeah.
But I still think that talking person to person, is probably the best way to connect.
A lot of these friends who left me too, they just hear, oh, she voted for Trump, fuck her, I'm done. Like, why don't you listen to my reasons why? Listen to my mindset, and maybe you might agree with me.
Yeah.
And that was a thing on Facebook the other day, actually. I was explaining my reasoning to someone because they were calling me racist and all this stuff, and I said a big thing. I was like, here's why. And it was actually because they brought up race. I mentioned like a lot of the stuff he's done for the black community, and they replied, I'm not reading that, you're uneducated. I'm like,
oh, but if
I'm providing you with education.
Yeah.
And you don't want to read it. The thing is, I'm willing to open my eyes up to liberal Democrat beliefs.
Amen. Yeah.
But I don't think these other people are, and I think that is another thing that is what's making us fight, because why are we open to listen to you, but you guys aren't open to listen to us?
Amen. That's very true.
As I said, I also do think the media has a lot to do with it, because these so-called verified pages are so biased. It's very biased, and if you share something right-sided, fact check immediately, even if it's true. You get fact check, but I don't see any of these left-sided posts get fact checked.
No.
And that's what I don't understand either. I think the media has become very biased, which is allowing this problem to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
Because if the media is biased and planting these ideas in other people's heads, especially these younger voters too, like, you almost can't blame them.
Yeah, no, you can't, because you're supposed to be able to trust the news. That's
exactly.
That's what and so when we say media, specifically the news, they're not the news no more. They're not. The mainstream news, the mainstream media has literally failed us because they're so biased that they don't just give us the facts no more. It's literally, it's one thing, look, if you got an opinion column, sure, you write what your opinion is, and it's labeled as opinion. But when you pass something on as news and it's completely one-sided and omitting, the stuff that makes them look bad, it's not giving you the whole story, then it's no longer news. Again, it's opinion. It's your bias. So stop trying to pass it on as news. And because I'm telling you right now, the mainstream media, I think, is dying. I think it's dying. I think that people are starting to look more to podcasters. They're starting to look more to X for their news. They're people like me, just independent people that go out and talk to people, that go out and look into things and see what's really going on. Forget what they're telling us. Let's go see for ourselves.
Exactly. It's like what you need to do now, almost.
Yeah, it is. Because else it's just, you can't trust it. So as far as how we go forward, because I think that that's something that we really need to hound on and talk about, is how do we start to engage with people? And I say that in an honest way. Like, how do you think it's best that we go out and we carry ourselves, especially now that we know there's a bunch of people that seemingly hate us now?
Yeah.
Do you,
Well, for starters, one thing that, as someone who's always like identified more Republican and like as a Trump supporter,
mm-hmm.
I've always don't post your opinions or don't voice your opinions publicly. Don't share them on social media. Don't tell other people your opinions. But other people do. And I think that is a big problem because we're expected to censor our beliefs to not offend others, but they're not.
Yeah.
And if I could say one thing to Republicans or anyone, don't censor your beliefs because if we keep allowing them to bully us into censoring our beliefs, we're gonna stay divided. But if everyone opens up and starts talking about what they believe in, we can get closer. You find people you get closer with, and then hopefully it eventually opens the eyes of others. But I've the election made me realize that a lot more people have been opening their eyes, and it's making me very happy to see.
Oh yeah, and I think that kind of like what you just said, I think that it's the evidence is there that there was a lot of blacks, there were a lot of minorities, that voted for Trump. Like he won not just a little bit; it was a landslide, literally.
Oh yeah.
Not just the popular vote, but also the electoral, and it's like that's huge. Some of the states, the percentages he won in, like I think California was like 40% Trump. That's like unheard of.
I know. I never heard California is a straight liberal state.
So I think that there were a lot of people that kind of like you said just wouldn't talk about it, and then they went and voted Trump. You know what I mean? Because they were scared of the repercussions. Because there's been people that have lost their jobs. There have been people that literally like you said, like what you've gone through, that have had death threats. That have, or not so much death threats, but told, hey, go kill yourself, that you're an ugly person because you support Trump, that you're, a horrible person, that we all hate you. And it's like, there's a lot of people that just, they don't want to deal with that, so they don't say nothing, but they showed up at the polls.
I can respect them for that, for at least showing up, but I think we need to quit letting them, bully us into censoring ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair. The Constitution, the First Amendment, we have that freedom of speech.
Yes, we do.
We are allowed. That's the cool thing about America, and we should be able to embrace that without having to worry about the backlash.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the Democratic Party used to. Actually, I don't think that it's the same Democratic Party that it was, say, 50 or 60 years ago. I think so. The Democratic Party used to actually be the ones that were about libertarianism, equalitarianism. They were the ones that fought for women's rights, for freedom of speech. But now it's like, it's the complete opposite, it seems. It seems like now all of a sudden it is the Republican Party that is the one fighting for freedom of speech, and not to allow censorship. And, it's just, this is what I really feel. I feel like the Democratic Party has all but embraced socialism. That's what they're pushing. Like, if you study in socialism, it's really, socialism, communism, they're economic principles, So basically, we operate under capitalism here. And capitalism has many problems. It does. But any economic system that you put in is going to have problems with people's greed, with people, because that's, we're all sinners. I believe that, so.
Yes, we all sin. Everyone sins differently.
We're never going to have a perfect system. The thing about capitalism that I think it's done so well over the years, and yes, again, there's plenty of problems with it. There's plenty of greed, but there always will be. But it's a free market. So, like, if I go out and I say, I like this shampoo better than this shampoo, well, I have the choice to buy that shampoo. Socialism and communism is basically a process in which the government mandates who can sell what.
Exactly.
And they fix it all. So now you don't have that competition like what you'd have in a free market. It's all run by the elite, essentially, whoever would be in charge. And that's not a good thing, I don't think.
No.
But it kind of, I think that was honestly one of the things that woke people up about Kamala was, her first proposal. Oh, we're gonna fix prices, price fixing. It's like you realize that's right out of the communist playbook. Like going in and actually controlling prices instead of the free market controlling what prices are.
Yeah.
The inflation and all that. I mean, obviously that's drove everything up. But to be honest, I think that a lot of that is due to the way that our government has just overspent and overspent and overspent for a long time now. I think that I'm kind of excited to see what kind of work Elon does with his the Doge. Have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
The Department of Government Efficiency. Um, he's gonna go clean some stuff up. I think they all are.
I know when I went to the rally, Elon Musk said if Trump wins, he should. What did he say? He should be able to be in Mars by 27. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's
Why?
crazy, right? Like we ain't even been to the moon in 60 years. It's.
Doesn't it take like 7 years to get to Mars? I don't know. I don't know how space time works.
Well, so I don't know a ton about it either, but I do know that I think the reason that he picked 2027 is because that's the closest point, and I think that's the only point that it would be possible during, and they'd have to wait like another 7 or 10 or however long years for that point to happen again. But it's the closest point that Mars and Earth are together in their orbits, and so
okay.
that's just the most opportune time to get something to Mars. So I think that's what that's about. Or else, knowing him, he would have something built next year, and they'd be in the air trying to get there.
Yeah,
But
true.
I think that the only way that it's feasible, and I still think it's a long trip. I think I don't know how long, like you said. I don't know if it takes months or a year. I don't know.
I don't understand how the whole space time works. 'Cause it's like 5 minutes up here is 3 years down. How though? How does that work like that? But I don't know. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, some of that stuff you get into the physics and it's just it's mind melting almost. It's like my goodness. But yeah, Hannah, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you'd like to share with the people?
I don't know. Let me think a second. Think? I don't know. I know I'll be in the car and be like, oh shit, I forgot to mention this. But no, I think I almost covered everything. As I said, just from getting bullied, losing friends, getting told to kill yourself over a vote. It's pretty crazy, but it happens.
Unfortunately, it does. Sadly, it does. Well, Hannah, I appreciate you being courageous enough to come forward and speak about it.
Well, this is something I would love to speak about, get the word out there, let everyone know what's happening and how the party of love and acceptance is not accepting me. So.
Well, one thing I didn't tell you, I tried to go to Tim Walt's rally. He came to Vallant, and you know where Vallant is, like the little Ohio town out by Ohio.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so real tiny little town, right? A lot of Amish. He had a rally back at a farm. I caught wind of it here, and I figured, well, it's only like 15, 20 minutes down the road. I didn't have nothing going on that day, and I try to show with my channel at least some sort of balance. That I'm just not showing all views that cater to what I think or what I believe. So I tried to go to the Waltz rally and talk to people there, get their perspective, and just listen to what Waltz had to say. And literally, well, I couldn't find it. There was no real information to find where it was. Downtown Vallant, there was people there, like a couple people that were walking around, and I asked them, and they told me where it was, so I drove there. And then when I got there, they wouldn't let me in.
Why?
Well, I don't know. So I had to stand there and wait, and there was a guy in like a big long coat, and he's like, oh, I gotta call and see if you're allowed. And not just me, like other Vallant locals, like one old guy, they took his information.
Like, what's the reasoning? Is it too packed or something?
Oh, no, you could, there was like maybe 50 cars there. Maybe. Like there was very small. It was a very small thing. But it seemed to me like they wanted it to be invite only, because like I overheard them, some of the campaign people there were upset because there were people in town telling people where the event was, and they didn't want people showing up. Like I said, this Vallant local, this older gentleman, they're like, well, they took his information. They said, well, we'll contact you if you're allowed in. It's like, it's a rally. Like you would think you want more people there to hear the perspective, to hear, what Waltz had to say. I mean, it blew my mind. But anyways,
Did they
yeah.
like know you guys were like you were like a Republican or anything? Like did you have like a Trump shirt on
Oh
or something?
no. But I don't. That's one thing, especially when I do the journalism stuff. I try to be completely nonpartisan. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell people what I believe and what I think if they ask, or if it comes up. But I try not to be overly MAGA, or
Yeah.
anything. At least while I'm filming. And even what's crazy about that is, like even I run with the fire department, and you got to be real careful there too, because actually we can get sued, simply because, like, say we get a motor vehicle accident or something, and I go out and I'm on the scene and I forget I have a MAGA shirt on. If somebody says something, they can actually sue us for that, which is crazy to me. I think, but whatever. It's besides the point. Completely irrelevant right now. But yeah, it blew my mind that Waltz just wouldn't let people in. It was literally like an invite-only event. Blew my mind.
That's weird.
Yeah.
They didn't let.
Well, if you look, so this is what I think. So if you
So
look,
were you able to attend like a left-sided rally?
no, I tried. They didn't let me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So because like that's what you do, like News Network and stuff like that. You want to get both sides.
Amen. Yeah.
And they were
Denied.
crazy
I was denied. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tell my dad about that. He's gonna like that.
I have the video on my YouTube channel. You can show him that if you want. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, not allowed, denied, and hey, whatever. I tried, but I really think that might be partially why they raised what, over $1 billion in like the 3 months that Kamala's been running, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, that's a ton of money, and it was kind of actually like, I think that might even be a historic amount of money. She's $20 million in debt now. Literally $20 million in debt. And this is why I think it is because she had these rallies where there was plenty of evidence that they were busing a ton of people in from out of state and from other places. And then on top of that, they paid all these celebrities to endorse them and to sing at their rallies, and
which I love the results of that. Ended up making the media, no, bye.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people talk about, which I think all I can say is I'm real excited. I shouldn't say excited because that's a bad term because it's such a sick thing, but I can't wait to see if Trump is going to release the Epstein documents.
I knew that was coming.
And Diddy, because a lot of these people that endorsed Kamala.
That's what I was saying.
Guess who was at the Diddy parties? A lot of these people.
I thought it was crazy when I saw that video of her and Usher, because literally like 2 days ago, Usher's trending everywhere for being like handing Justin Bieber to Diddy.
Yeah.
Because anyone who knows the littlest bit about Justin Bieber,
he
wouldn't
went
be
through
here
a lot
without
of crap.
Usher.
Oh yeah.
And what happened with him with Diddy is disgusting.
Yeah.
And Usher did that to him, and like she puts videos with him endorsing her, and then Beyonce, of all people, who is known to be like the leader of all this.
Look at J-Lo, who was with Diddy, and you know what? And it's like she comes out and she's crying because she's so scared of Trump and all this and warning people about Trump. And it's like, why didn't you ever warn anybody about Diddy? You never said a word about him.
Yeah. Well, didn't she flee the country or something? That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
I don't know. There's a lot of people, and that's another funny kind of topic. It's like, you had all these people that said, oh, if Trump wins, we're leaving the country. If Trump wins, we're leaving.
Bye.
Most of them are still here. It was just talk, I do think you're right, though. I do think some people have said, you know what, yeah, we're leaving. And that's it. That's what I say to that is goodbye. Did you hear about the 4B movement?
Oh, please. That is insane.
I think it's awesome. I support it. You know what? You ladies want to go shave your heads and not be with men? That's awesome because, you know what? You're making it easier for decent guys to make a more informed decision on who they don't want to be with. As far as I'm concerned, like, shave your heads. Do it.
We don't need people like you reproducing anyway. Okay, that was mean, but...
It was. But that's okay, I mean, it's a lot of the things these people are saying is mean.
Too.
What I think is, it's narcissism. Get over yourself. Like, do you really think that the male population is really going to lose out because you've shaved your head and decided you're not going to be with nobody? Like, I watched some little blonde girl on a TikTok video basically saying, well, you best not come to Florida no more and think you're getting laid because me and my girls are, and it's like, get over yourself.
No,
like,
you're not that special.
You're not that special.
There's plenty of people go bang in Florida.
Yeah. And you know what? To be honest, as a conservative and as a Christian, hey, the more we can get people to just keep their pants on, I think is a good thing. Honestly. That's my opinion on that.
Oh no, that's morbid. That is driving me nuts. People are shaving their head and then these blue wristbands. And that's why I said,
I didn't know the wristband thing.
I
Is
guess
that
they wear
thing too?
they shave their head and they wear blue wristbands. They're not having sex. They will not be in any straight relationship. I don't know. They won't have any kids. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
Please don't have any kids. We don't need more of you running around.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's just a slap in the face to these women in other countries who can't even speak without permission, who can't even open their front door without permission. And you're mad because what? Abortion is going to get handed to the states?
Yeah.
And you might lose it in a couple of states?
Yeah.
Or you can just travel the next one over?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So, everybody bashed Trump, so I am pro-life all the way. Like, and
I'm like 80% pro-life. I do agree in cases of rape, especially if it is a little kid, and death to mother.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
if me
yes,
giving
I
birth
agree
to
there.
this baby.
I agree there, yes.
Well, I don't even think abortion should have ever been abortion. It should have never been a form of birth control. It should have been a medical procedure.
Amen.
For
Amen.
moments like that 4-year or that 10-year-old girl who gets raped. That's a medical procedure because a 10-year-old will die giving birth.
Yes.
Or like if I give birth to this baby, it will kill me. Or like say I miscarry.
Yes.
And
and you need to get it out.
Yeah, like
yes.
those are all valid abortion
Amen.
cases, but it should not be used as a form for birth control.
Amen.
But that's my personal opinion. But
that's mine too, and that's what it's been used for.
I guess like that would be
as.
there's a little bit of pro-choice in me for like those exceptions, but
so I think I agree there. So yeah, I'm not completely.
Basically, Trump's stance on abortion is mine. Because
Yes.
he said this like
Yes.
the same exact thing I did.
Yes. But yeah, and yet everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have just been, even some of the ads that the Democrats have put out, straight up lies. Oh, Trump's gonna make abortion illegal, and all this
Trump
stuff.
Actually, his wife recently did an interview. He's because his wife is pro-choice. I don't know if she's fully pro-choice, but she doesn't agree with men having like being in charge of abortion. She doesn't agree with that. And as I said, she's entitled to her opinion. That's okay. And she actually sat down with Trump and she did an interview on it, explaining why some women don't want men to be in charge of like their bodies and stuff.
Yeah,
and he sat there and he listened and he took some knowledge from that, and he said that too. And she mentioned that too. She goes, he's starting to understand it more in like a women's point of view, and that's why there's the heartbeat bill. It's like after 6 weeks. He wants to change that. He wants to give you more time. But no one's going to talk about that. No one's going to say anything. He thinks 6 weeks isn't fair. He's like, nobody's going to know before 6 weeks. He's like, I thought about upping that to like 8 or 12, but in order for him to do that, he would have to be supporting like late-term abortion as well. So that's why he's like, it's a very confusing situation because no one should support late-term abortion.
No.
The only reason that is necessary is for miscarries.
Save the life of the mother,
Or
things like that.
Yeah,
yes.
But other than that, there's no reason someone should be having an abortion at 20, 30 weeks. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you're literally killing a baby.
That is literally murder right there. But yeah, they won't talk about that on there.
No.
He's full on said, I don't think 6 weeks is fair. That doesn't give you enough time, especially if you do need to travel out of state to get an abortion.
Well,
but no one wants to talk about that.
Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about, he's actually, he's not like this far right-wing conservative guy. Like, he is very conservative. He's a business guy. But as far as like, they just, they conflate everything about him to make it seem like, again, he is public enemy number one. We cannot let him in office, and
media has it all twisted. Because I watched the video. They asked him, "What do you think of gay marriage?" He goes, "It's not for me, but I don't care what other people do. That's why there's menus at restaurants.
Yeah,
Some people like this, and some people like this." And then the clip right after, it was when Obama and Biden were in office, and they asked Joe Biden, and he said, he goes, "Barack Obama and I do not support gay marriage." But it's like, how is Trump the homophobic one?
Yep.
He literally said that's why restaurants have menus. I mean,
yep.
That sounds pretty supportive if you ask me. But.
Yes. Yeah, again, they have successfully propagandized a lot of people. And that's all it is, it's propaganda.
Well,
it's
not
not news, it's propaganda.
2025 propaganda bullshit was
they keep pushing that. It's like, how many times again, just like the white supremacist notion, he disavowed them. He said, I don't even want their support. They're wrong. They're evil people. And no different. Project 2025. I'm not part of that. I don't align with that. That's something that came from the far right, end of the spectrum there. That's their plan. It's not mine. But people still, the ad, I've seen the ad that Kamala ran for quite some time that basically said, oh, you better look out because Project 2025 is coming. Do you know what Project 2025 is? And all this.
My friend is saying that to me, and I told him, I texted him before the election. I was like, if Trump wins, I am willing to bet $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 that Project 2025 isn't going to happen. And they're like, okay, we'll see. So I should probably text them, because I want money.
Well, I mean, it's just, I think that, again, you're brainwashed if you can't look and see that there's been a lot of benefits just since he's become president-elect. Look at the stock market.
Already.
The stock market, bam, went like, the Dow was up like 1,000 points.
Hey, gas went from 350 to 333 by me, but.
Hey, we'll take it.
I'll take it.
But
all the Hamas or whatever.
Yep.
Called a media end for war. Where are all these Palestine liberals at now? That he's doing that, because they were all, bullying everyone off the internet for not calling an end to the Palestine war. But now that Trump entered office, causing Hamas to call an immediate end to war, where are you guys now?
Yeah.
You don't care about it anymore. That's sure you don't.
Yeah, I think that I think and I hope that Trump is going to be very successful at ending the wars that are going on right now, ending the Ukraine-Russia war. Him and Elon just had a meeting with Zelensky, which upset people. I guess there were people talking about that, like, oh, why is he, because he's going to be the president, and Zelensky knows that. They're gonna, people were upset, like, why was Elon on the call? It's like, well, because Elon is obviously going to be a very fundamental aspect of Trump's
he's going to be a big part of Trump's presidency.
Yes.
He's brought that up millions of times, but...
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, people are going to get upset. They're going to get angry. And
people just want something to complain about.
And I think that's true, too. But I do think that a lot of people, depending on how these 4 years go, are going to realize, oh.
That's what I'm hoping for. You asked me, what do you think can bring, together, stop people from hating each other?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm hoping after this 4 years or even a couple years into it, they'll see, you know what, he's not that bad.
He's not that bad. He's not a Nazi. He didn't start World War III, and as a matter of fact, he may have kept it from happening,
Exactly.
Things like that.
I just hope they see, wait, prices are going down, wars are ending. Maybe I was wrong.
Yes.
I'm just hoping. But...
Well, even Trump is pushing that narrative, that we need to come together, let's be united, because I talked about how the Harris campaign is $20 million in debt. Trump literally just said, hey, I think that us, the Republican Party, we still have money left over. Let's pay off their debt. Let's help them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's so nice. Nice.
Especially after they've attacked him, and he's like, you know what? We need to come together. You know, how can we help the Democratic Party?
There was another video I saw. It was when Trump had to work at McDonald's. It was Kamala Harris's birthday. And someone went up to him and was like, it's Kamala Harris's birthday. What are you going to get her? He's like, I would love to get her some flowers. I was like, oh, see, why don't the news show this?
Oh, yeah,
nice
they'll
stuff.
never show that. I didn't even see that one.
It was cute. And of course, you know, the people
there was just,
videotaping.
he served for a little while. So I've seen, you know, and there were so many clips of, you know, him handing out fries and nuggets and, you know, things like that, and talking to people.
That's what he said. He's like, well, I guess I'll just give her some French fries, too. The person videotaping was trying to get him to, like, say mean things, and he wasn't doing it. He goes, well, we'll give her flowers, but how about you just debate her? And he's like, no, I'll just give her flowers.
Yeah.
And he was saying, happy birthday, Kamala. Like, it was cute. It made me happy.
I seen some funny memes, too, that weren't as nice or cute, about basically saying, yep, now that Trump had to put his 2 weeks in at McDonald's. Kamala, if
I've been saying that. Someone made a picture of her wearing a McDonald's hat. Hopefully I can get my old job back. The memes are funny. Oh, I'm loving the Joe Biden ones right now, though. I don't know if you're seeing those. Everyone's considered that, like, Joe Biden voted for Trump.
Oh, I've even said that to people on X, made comments, you know, just kind of joking, you know, but I seriously, like, after I saw
starting to believe it.
After I saw Biden's speech, it seemed like that was
speech.
Just about Trump winning. You know, he came out because he technically is still the president, you know. So, you know, he came out and basically congratulated Trump and said that he's going to ensure that there's a peaceful,
what happened
you know,
on election day? Kamala invited him to her election party, and he said no, and then invited Trump to the White House.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants his boyfriend. I'm a Trident shipper. People laugh at me, but I always say that. I'm not voting for Trump or Biden. I'm voting for Trident. Because I make all these edits of them being enemies to lovers. And they're so funny. Especially in the one that was in the debate and like, you know, Biden, in another world I would love to play golf with you. It started saying that, then it went to like this Taylor Swift love song, and they're like walking up to each other. But they're just funny. I live for them. They kill me.
There's a lot of funny memes out there.
I'm all for them. Yeah, there's this like whole thing that like Joe Biden apparently hates Kamala or whatever, and that's why he voted for Trump. And at first I was like, that's a reach, and then they keep coming up, and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm really starting to believe in this.
So I look at it like this. Joe Biden, like literally a day or two before, he all of a sudden wrote a letter and said he was not going to continue his run for president. I think they kind of forced his hand somehow and said, look, you're gonna concede. You're not gonna keep running. We're gonna put other people up, namely Kamala. Which, you know, that's another...
I don't think how Kamala got up there, a lot of Democrats were mad about it,
You're darn right they were. There was a lot of people that...
I don't blame them. I understand...
They circumvented the normal Democratic process. She never had to go through a primary. She never had to go up against all these other candidates.
Democrats, there's probably some decent Democrats in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
That honestly probably could have beat Trump. I mean, I don't know all of them. I don't know what they believe in, but... I don't think all Democrats are like these liberals, so I'm sure there's probably a decent one or two in there.
Sure.
That could have stood a fair chance of, again, probably would have beat Kamala. A lot of people don't like her.
Well, and that's what boggled my brain, was the way that they just ushered her in like that. Her approval ratings couldn't be worse. I mean, honestly, before that. I mean, it's people just never really liked her. You know, she did a lot of kind of very, very left-wing things when she was in California there. You know, and then what killed me was not just the rally where she basically dogged every Christian out there and said, you're at the wrong rally. But it was...
That pissed me
It was the interview. Oh, who was interviewing her? It's unimportant, but she was getting interviewed, and basically they asked, so would you have done anything,
Yes.
differently, based on...
not at all.
Nothing comes to mind.
I think those two videos have a big impact on the election.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or
Oh
not.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
Especially the Christian one. That pissed a lot of people off.
Yes, it did. Even people that ain't Christians, it's like, you don't say that. You're like, how? And that's... I didn't see him until now. It's like, where did they come from?
I see one.
I blame it on all her houseplants. But yeah, those videos, and just, the way that Kamala she was 100% not the correct person that the Democratic Party should have put in there the way that they did.
I think she is way too far left for someone who should have been running.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like, I liked Joe Biden better than Kamala, and I hated that.
Yeah, I did too.
No, I don't hate him. I just think he wasn't fit.
Honestly, I think, he wasn't fit for president. Now, there's a lot that when he was younger and wasn't so I've talked to a lot of people, and they're positive that he has dementia, basically, or either dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm not even sure now.
I almost said Asperger's.
Maybe that's what it is.
So I don't know.
I'd have to rewatch the interview with the lady up in either New York or Vermont. I can't remember, but basically, she worked in the medical field for years, and basically she said that you can tell by the way he walked. He had I think Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's shuffle or something like that, to where basically he just kind of took little steps and slid, and he was lost, didn't know which way he was going, and she said that's like classic telltale signs. She goes, in any medical profession that denies that is lying, as simple as that. Those are telltale signs that somebody is going through that. I think honestly it was partially abuse of an elderly person, honestly, because I don't think that they ever should have.
I saw these things of his family was convincing him, no, you gotta run again. As his family, that's the last thing you should have been convincing him to do. He should not be in office. He needs to be with his family now. He needs to be with people who love and care about him, because he's getting old. His time left is limited. He's getting sick, and he needs to be around people who love him, not people in office. Not in office, especially getting slandered by people like me every day. He doesn't. No, he needs to be home with his family. As I said, I didn't really care for the dude, but I'm not a cold-hearted asshole.
Oh, amen. Yeah.
He still deserves love, from whether he has kids or his wife or his family. He's old. He's dying. He doesn't. He just needs to relax.
Yes, I agree. And it's not even.
And I thought that was very abusive when I saw a lot of his family members. No, you gotta do it. You have to.
Even Jill was one of the biggest ones pushing.
Did you see what she wore to election day?
That red dress. Did you like that? Yeah, that was funny. I'm telling you, I am partially convinced that they both voted Trump.
I don't know if it's more so that he likes Trump, but more towards the fact that he does not like Kamala Harris.
Well, and I don't think he appreciated what happened, because, like it or not, he was, whether he was physically fit to run again or not, he was running again. And I think that he was on board with him running again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he was on board
and I really think that they forced his hand and threw Kamala in there, and I think that really...
Well, a lot of people said that was her plan all along. I remember when in 2020, no one remembers this but me, but there were so many posts saying, look at Joe Biden, look how slow and he is. Why do you think Kamala is vice president? She wants to take his spot, and that is why she is vice president for someone like him. And there was it wasn't exactly that, but there was a whole theory breaking it down.
Oh yeah, I've even heard that she's, which I kind of partially believe this, that Obama was the one overseeing all that. She's a puppet for Obama, and things along those lines, because it was.
I haven't heard that one. I have to look into it.
Yeah.
There's a chicken.
Oh yeah, we got chickens running around, and there's a guinea that runs around too. He normally roosts
Is
in our
that
tree out
wind?
back. Huh?
Is that wind?
Wind?
That's sound.
Oh no, it's the heat
Oh.
kicked on. You're like, I don't see the trees even moving at
Yeah,
all.
like that sounds very loud.
All right, Hannah. I think we can probably go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm sure I've said something that'll fit in there good.
Well, if you stayed this long to watch this portion of the video, I will ask you first and foremost to just like and subscribe to our channel. What we're doing here is important. We're bringing voice to the voiceless. We're giving people the opportunity and the platform to speak to the people. And I couldn't be more grateful for everybody that has tuned in so far. And I know that the perspectives that we're sharing, again, are vital narratives that we need to share. So thank you. Hannah, this is the second time I've gotten to speak with her. She is such a pleasure to be around, to hang out with. She's such a sweet girl. She spoke with us before about COVID, as I mentioned in the beginning of the interview, but this time she spoke about something very deep and personal to herself. Her seeming attack, she's been literally attacked online and otherwise in person for her beliefs, for her political ideologies, mainly her support for Trump. And she's not the only one. There are several people out there that have shared this story. And in fact, there's a lot of people that don't even have to share the story because there's a lot of people that are on the left that are saying, we hate you, go kill yourselves. It's wrong. It's wrong and it's un-American. I'm sorry, I don't normally speak this harshly. I don't normally give my views this strongly. But even if Harris would have won, I would have, I'd have come behind some of the things she was doing because, I'm sure that not everything would have been just completely horrible, as a lot on the right tried to say that it would have been. But the right did not swoop so far as it seems the left has. And that goes from those in power to those that were voting. Some of the videos that have come out just literally repeating what I've already said, that basically if you supported Trump, you should go kill yourself. You're worthless. You're nothing. You're racist. You're bigoted. Enough's enough. We're all Americans. And yes, that means that we're entitled. We're entitled to our opinions, to our beliefs, to our ideologies. And that's part of what makes America so wonderful and so great, because we get to come together and we get to learn from each other. This vast, big melting pot of people and ideas come together as one. That's what America is all about. And we need to get back to that. We need to get back to that. And that goes for both sides of the aisle. Whether you voted Trump, whether you voted Harris, stop attacking the other side. Start working to be better together. That's the only way we're going to be better. And yes, I believe in God, and I believe He is all that can fix this nation. But with that said, if you truly call yourself a child of God, why are we not loving like we ought? Why are we not going out and seeking to teach those, that don't know truth? Because ultimately, that's what any Christian should be about, is about truth. What we need, America, is to change the narrative, the vital narratives. And it starts like this. It starts with coming together with people and just talking. Respecting the fact that they're human, just like we are. They're American, just like we are. And that's where it starts. So as always, until next time, embrace the stories that matter.